Hollywood is reacting this morning to the Oscars ditching television for YouTube. Starting in 2029, the Academy Awards will stream exclusively on YouTube worldwide under a multi-year deal. To help us unpack what all this means, we're joined by Barry Hertz, film editor and deputy arts editor at the Globe and Mail. I was really surprised when I saw this come up on eTalk's account yesterday, Barry. ABC has broadcast the Oscars since 1976. CTV airs the ceremony here in Canada. Is this a death knell for award shows on television? Are we going to see this massive shift over to online?
Unfortunately, I think so. I think this is very much the end of a lot of telecasts of award ceremonies, those very big, juicy things, which used to be the most watched programs of the year next to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, let's talk about the people who are watching and maybe who aren't watching anymore. The last few decades have seen fewer and fewer people turn into the Oscars. In 1998, a record of 57 million people in the U.S. watched this ceremony. So then when we compare that to this year's Oscars that were seen by 19.7 million people, why is the Academy betting on YouTube to bring in more viewers, or is it just a way to free up the amount of money it costs to put them on television?
I think it's a little bit of both, to be honest with you, but this move kind of strikes me as a measure of fear, a little bit of desperation on the part of the Academy members. I mean, they're struggling to figure out any way forward, and it's obvious that what they have been doing with ABC for the past few years is not working, and they see the landscape shifting underneath their feet, and I feel this is kind of like a move of panic, and it devalues the brand. I just wish that maybe a little bit more thought and forward thinking was taken into consideration here, because once you leave the network television ecosystem, you cannot go back.
Okay, well, let's talk about the change. I mean, we've been hearing about television being legacy media for a long time now, but it just seems like this shift is stronger. The same day this deal was announced, Warner Brothers Discovery told its shareholders to move forward with Netflix offer for the company. So what could these legacy media assets moving to streaming mean for the industry as a whole?
I think it's a little bit, we're going to result in a lot of conglomeratization of content. Sure, there will be ostensible ease of access, and that more people do have the ability to flick on YouTube on their smart television than do subscribe to cable, for instance. But there's a devaluing of the brand, I think, that comes along with this. There's a, we can say it's a democratization, but if it's out there for everybody and it feels a little less special, I feel that people are not going to really give it the value that it deserves. And I think this is bad for the filmmakers, it's bad for the stories they tell, and ultimately it will be bad for consumers and audiences.
Yeah, I mean, how would they need to change in order to gain more viewers? I know they've tried a lot of things. They've tried shortening up the awards, they've tried offering less awards, but if people aren't interested in watching these award shows, what do they need? Is moving it to a different medium really the answer?
No, I think it's kind of shifting the problem a little bit. Yeah. It's kind of kicking the can down the road, so to speak. I mean, people aren't watching for a number of reasons. One is that the movies themselves have not been as all-encompassing in their popularity as they used to be. I mean, we look back at that year of 1998 when we had that record high viewership. That was because that was the year of Titanic, one of the biggest films of all time. So, we live in a more siloed kind of cultural sphere today. There are certain movies that, yes, kind of cross the divide and get everybody's attention, but those aren't necessarily the movies that are going to be nominated for a whole boatload of Oscars come awards season. Yeah. So, there's a lot of factors at play, and I sympathize with the Academy for trying to reckon with all of those changes, but I don't think that this particular move was the one to make historically for the Academy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, it was a seismic shift. It'll be interesting to see what the aftershocks are, as you pointed out, for the industry. Barry Hertz, film editor and deputy arts editor at the Globe and Mail. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.